Alright, everybody, hello. We are officially live here with severe weather coverage. Alright, today has been an extreme day with the severe weather so far. This morning and last night, we saw numerous PDS tornadoes, that being particularly dangerous situations. Strong tornadoes. We already have one casualty reported, unfortunately, and that storm is quickly moving up the east coast here. Alright, so today we will be focusing mainly on the Carolinas, Virginia, and even Georgia for the stream here. Okay, so we have two tornado warnings in effect right now. We just had like four that just expired. I almost went live with six tornado warnings at once, which would be insane. This one down here, just off the coast, kind of is entering into portions of extreme eastern North Carolina here near Bald Head Island, Sheephead Rock, Cure Beach, Carolina Beach, and Wilmington Beach here. All right, it is this rotation that it's warned for, because we could be seeing a strong waterspout move onto land soon, and that would create a strong tornado potentially. Okay, so you need to be extremely careful. Seek shelter immediately if you are included in that warning there, just south of Wilmington. Our other tornado warning here is near Fayetteville, just to the north and the east. Actually, now it's not necessarily a strong storm, but it's got a lot of rotation on it, and therefore a tornado could definitely spin up from that. Okay, so that is what we're dealing with today. We also have a ton of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now. 14 severe warnings. One of them is for 70-mile-per-hour winds here, so seek shelter if you're included in this warning. That does include Charleston, South Carolina. So when this line of damaging thunderstorms approaches you, you need to seek shelter, Charleston, because this has 70-mile-per-hour winds in it, which is equivalent to weak tornado force winds here. All right, and just because it is a line of damaging wind thunderstorms, we could definitely see an embedded supercell pop up in there and create a tornado as well. So be extremely careful is basically what I'm trying to say here. The worst of those winds is going to be off to the north and the west here, or are going to be off to the north and the west here, I should say. But all around here in this warning, it's going to be intense. All right, this is likely going to be an even more eventful stream than yesterday. A lot of the event happened overnight into this morning, like I said, so I didn't capture a lot of it on my stream. We have a new tornado warning, by the way, for Hillsborough County in Florida. That includes Tampa, so if you're in Tampa, seek shelter immediately. But yeah, we had a lot of activity last night. And like I said, we already have one death reported, unfortunately, but it's looking like we could get another tornado to spin up here soon, just south of Tampa. So if you're in Tampa, you need to seek shelter immediately, or anywhere else in this warning. This is nearly on the ground, and it could definitely pop up at any second. Okay, so like I said, probably going to be even more eventful than yesterday. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning here for Orange, Alamance, Caswell, Person, Durham, and Guilford counties in North Carolina. That has the tornado possible tag on it, so let's take a peek here. Yeah, it's just off to the north and the west of our tornado warning there, and this is a huge line of damaging wind thunderstorms that's impacting this entire area here. All these orange severe thunderstorm warnings, these are because of this one line of huge storms here bringing damaging winds, which is why the damaging wind threat today is so high. We do have that enhanced hatch risk for damaging winds for good reason. All right, so this is also causing a pretty big flooding event. We have 33 flash flood warnings here across portions of Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and even South Carolina right now. Okay, it is very intense with the flooding out here. I believe we have a moderate risk for flash flooding today in this area. I know we had a moderate risk yesterday, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, it is crazy out there right now, you guys. So especially like eastern North Carolina, it's at the point where like this entire portion of North Carolina needs to be tuned into the local weather station now, because there's so much intense stuff happening here. It's really isolated to this little area. The craziest part of it is, okay, so new severe thunderstorm warning here, maybe, I'm not sure where it's at though. So yeah, we have a lot of tornado possible tags, severe thunderstorm warnings. But yeah, that is what we're dealing with today. Strong tornadoes possible just like yesterday, but today the threat is really there for some crazy stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and check up on our storm here that has that water spout on the ground. All right, so it's moving up to the north, which is good that it's not moving out to the west and it's not making landfall, okay? So as of right now, it's actually heading to the north here, alright? So it's looking like you're going to be safe from this, but stay in shelter because that could easily change paths and come onto land and create a large tornado, alright? We also have a lot of special marine warnings since this event is along the east coast here, kind of. So yeah, it's getting really crazy out there. At every point of the day today, we've had multiple tornado warnings going on. I don't think there's been a single point today where we've had less than 2 tornado warnings at once, which is insane, okay? We've also had a lot of tornadoes just in general, not just warnings, alright? We've had a lot of actual tornadoes, okay? And it's not just the tornadoes that are the threat. We've got damaging winds and large hail being pretty big, both kind of secondary threats at this point, alright? So you just gotta watch out, basically, is what I am trying to say here. Looks like we got a new flash flood warning. Oh, sorry, some of these are rainfall warnings in Canada. I don't know why it does that on my computer, but it shows me those as flash flood warnings. So sorry about that, but yeah. It is getting extremely intense out there. We also do have a bit of a winter storm kind of rolling through the Midwest here. I believe this is Winter Storm Finn, kind of extending from Wisconsin, northwest Illinois, northern Missouri, and most of Iowa there, as well as extreme northeast portions of Nebraska and maybe extreme northeast portions of Kansas around Kansas City. We did just get a new radar update, and it looks like they did remove our tornado warning there just off the coast because, like I said, that waterspout is likely heading to the north now, and it looks like it's actually weakening anyway, so you can get out of shelter if you want to, just south of Wilmington there, alright? So I am going to be monitoring chat for this, a good duration of this event, I would say, probably the whole thing. So if you have any questions about the weather for your location, then just go ahead and let me know, and I will keep you up to date. I'm going to go ahead and pull chat up right now, so give me just a second here. Alright, let's pull this up. Live, Dave says weather. So, here we go. Yep. Alright, we do not have any chat yet. So, I've been mentioning since yesterday into today that I might not be able to go live for very long today, but I just found out the plans that I had got canceled, so I will be able to go live for an hour to an hour and a half if I'm really feeling like it. But honestly, guys, I went live yesterday. I'm really just not sure if I want to go live for that long today. We'll see. I'm not crossing anything off the board just yet, especially if things get super intense, which they definitely could in an event like this. I will stay live for longer, but yeah. Looks like we do have our storm here in Tampa still causing some potential damage here, although it does look like that rotation is weakening quite a bit, so that's good. At this point, the worst part of this event is really going to be those damaging winds at this very moment. And it's because of that huge line of thunderstorms. Like I said, it's just that one giant line extending across most of the Carolinas. Here it is. And it's not even going to be producing that heavy of rainfall or even like that much lightning or hail, alright? It could produce some, obviously, but really it's those damaging winds that are going to be the main threat. And what most people don't understand about damaging winds in a line of storms like this is that those winds can start impacting you 5, 10, sometimes even 15 or 20 minutes before the line of storms arrives, okay? So, honestly, at this point, it's probably a good idea to start seeking shelter soon here in Charleston. We've already got winds from 30 to 40 miles per hour. I mean, that's not super intense just yet, but it will get worse for sure, okay? So, just stay careful there, alright? That's all I'm going to say. Looks like we got another severe thunderstorm warning. Again, though, I'm not sure where it's at. Oh, yeah, never mind, I am. Scotland, Richmond, Hoke, and Moore counties in North Carolina. That also has the tornado possible tag on it. Basically, all these severe thunderstorm warnings for this line of storms is going to have that tornado possible tag on it. Because anywhere in this line, we could see a tornado pop up, really. So, our storm here northeast of Fayetteville that could produce a tornado. Let's see if it's still looking like it. Yeah, the rotation's definitely weakening. I mean, it was never really there in the first place, it doesn't look like, but it is going away if there was any, but still stay in shelter for at least until this warning expires, I would say. But don't worry, it expires in 5 minutes, so if you got stuff to do, just stay in there a little longer, and then you'll be good to go. We got 2 more severe thunderstorm warnings, one of them for Charlotte, Halifax, Mecklenburg, Campbell, and Pittsylvania counties in Virginia, and the other one for New Hanover and Pender counties in North Carolina. Okay, so again, this is really a damaging wind event at the moment. We do have a couple areas that could develop a tornado here, but I mean, the worst part about this is the damaging winds. I'd say this tornado warning is definitely more concerning than our other one right now. But even this is weakening. But stay in shelter if you're in Tampa. Let it just get past you. Brandon, the time to seek shelter is going to be soon. I feel like they should have included you in this warning just to send the message out to the phones, because that line of that storm could reach you pretty quickly and produce a tornado possibly. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with today. It does not look like we have any viewers at the moment, so I'm probably going to go ahead and give my voice a little bit of a rest here and kind of just check up on what the severe weather has been like today. I'm going to go ahead and check the NWS Twitter pages here. And yeah, just kind of chill. I did notice yesterday during the stream there was this annoying background noise. I'm not sure what that was from, but it was like a... But I've never had it before. It was like a rocking sound. I thought it could have been my iPad, but it was really doing it for the whole stream, and I wasn't moving my iPad for the whole stream. So hopefully that doesn't happen today. I've never had that happen before, like I said. So yeah, I really don't know. But anyway, new radar update here for our storm in Tampa. Instead of just zooming in, I'm going to be lazy and just, kind of click the button to get in here. Actually, the velocities have probably not updated yet. Yeah, they have not. I'm trying to see if we've had any other PDS tornadoes today that I was not aware of. Panama City and Panama City Beach got a pretty big one. That was one of our PDS warnings last night. That's probably going to be the big tornado of the event. That when we look back on this event, we're going to say, yeah, that was the Panama City tornado. Likely going to be in that low-end EF2 range, but I don't want to predict EF ratings this early because I really don't even know that much about it because I haven't had that much time to look at it and survey the damage. Okay, so, yeah, it looks like our last PDS warning was this morning, and I did see that one. It was for the Florida Panhandle, Southwest Georgia, and Southeast Alabama there. Yeah. I did catch one of the PDSs, but I was asleep for most of the event, alright? Or at least I was trying to sleep. I did not sleep very good last night, guys. So yeah, we had that Panama City tornado. I see that one as well. I'm trying to see if we had any other PDS tornadoes. Yeah, we had another one near Freeport. So we've had 3 PDS tornadoes this morning / last night, I think. Not sure. But yeah. Another thing with this event is that it's mostly taking place in Easter time, and I'm in Standard Time. So if you hear me mention any time frames, just put that ahead an hour if you're actually in the danger zone for today. We've not gotten a velocity update. Okay, as soon as I say that, we did. I was going to say that's kind of concerning, considering there's some strong storms going over the radar. I was wondering if it got knocked out, but it didn't. I worry about that probably too much, really. So I noticed our other tornado warning has been allowed to expire. Hello, Mr. Storm. How many tornadoes touched down today? It's hard to count, really, man. I mean, at least 10, I would say. But I know there were 3 PDS different tornadoes specifically. I'm not sure how many tornadoes in general, popped down. But, yeah, it's been crazy this morning. And really all day long. We've had multiple tornado warnings going on at every point of the day today. So, again, really the only 2 storms that we have that you're going to want to definitely be in shelter for is that one with the 70-mile-per-hour winds in South Carolina, and then the tornado warning storm we have down in Florida. And you know what? That tornado warning actually just expired. Okay, so we have no tornado warnings at the moment. Man, we've had some all day. You're in a high wind warning, Mr. Storm? Yeah, that would be up here near Long Island. Yep, here in LI. I think my high wind warnings might be glitched. No, because there's some right there. Not sure. I don't know. They might just not be popping up. There's so many alerts going on right now that sometimes my computer doesn't show them all on radar. We have 619 weather alerts across the country, which is insane. There's usually not that many except for in the most intense outbreaks, but it's just because we have a blizzard and a tornado outbreak both going on at once. This will be classified as a tornado outbreak, at least for yesterday. The classification for a tornado outbreak is having 5 or 6 tornadoes, one of the 2, I don't remember, but you have to have 5 or 6 tornadoes within a 24-hour span, and we definitely had that yesterday. I believe we had 7 yesterday, maybe. I mean, most of those were actually in, like, the early morning time hours of today, but I don't know, man. Um, yeah, I'm actually under a special weather statement in my area for some gusty winds. But yeah, it's just covered by the flood alerts. That's possible, but it should still tell me if I click on it. I'm clicking on it and it says flood warning and flood watch. It'll show all the alerts if I click on it here. Like if I click on this, you see all of the alerts for that area. So I think it might just be a glitch. I think it's just not showing it for some reason. So yeah, really that last storm we're concerned about here is that one in Charleston, South Carolina. Oh yeah, Mr. Storm, I actually saw you this morning on Ryan Holyall's stream. I tried to get your attention, but I don't think you saw me. It's okay. But yeah. If I'm talking too fast, let me know, because sometimes I do start talking too fast and nobody understands what I'm saying when I'm recording videos. But, yeah. It's hard to look at what the actual wind speeds are in this, because some of these are definitely fake. I mean, there's not really 100-mile-an-hour winds like the radar's saying in here. But, yeah. Alright. The thing is that, we've got, like, a ton of different warnings, but none of them are really anything to be super concerned about right now, other than this one here, heading for Charleston, South Carolina. But, yeah. I think this could be a real pocket of high winds at about 60 miles an hour, estimated by radar. And you shouldn't rely too much on these radar estimations because they're usually not exactly right, but they're a good, like it says, an estimation. It's not an exact fact. But yeah. And it looks like, yeah, we still just got that one storm with 70-mile-per-hour winds. Here, heading straight for Charleston, South Carolina. So, Charleston, the time to seek shelter is probably now, because once again, those damaging winds can arrive sometimes upwards of 15 to 20 minutes before the storms even actually get there. So, probably want to seek shelter in Charleston. Looking like right now, winds are starting to pick up here at about 40 to 45 miles per hour, but this will not be the peak intensity. It will get worse. Just off to your north and your west, I think you have some real 70-mile-per-hour gust estimations here. So, yeah, seek shelter in Charleston at this point is probably the best move. But, yeah. I will be looking at quite a bit of wintry mixed precipitation tonight in my area. I don't want to say exact locations, obviously, but I'll be looking at pretty, I don't want to say intense, but a interesting storm myself. Not even really a storm, just kind of quite a bit of rain snow mix with some very strong winds, I would say, actually. They're predicting tomorrow the gusts in my area could get around 45 miles an hour at their peak, which isn't something super crazy, but still quite a bit. Or not tomorrow. Actually, tonight they could reach that high. Meant to say. But yeah. It is kind of raining outside my house. If you start to hear some sprinkles in the background, sorry about that. But, yeah. Let's see here. Anything new? For some reason, it's not giving me my alert sounds for when there's a new warning issued. I don't know if my volume is just off or not. But I was hearing the radar update sound, so I don't know. So this is interesting. The source for the 70-mile-per-hour windstorm is law enforcement. These storms have a history of producing widespread wind damage, so we're probably going to see some bad damage reports come out of that area, if I had to guess. Go ahead and take a look at those here, actually. Oh, okay, so it's looking like we just got a somewhat new mesoscale discussion. Broken line of storms continues east and will continue to produce damaging wind gusts and the threat of brief tornadoes. So it looks like the intensity has probably already peaked for this event, like I said, in the morning time hours, kind of, but Um, they're still highlighting that we could see some intense stuff for the rest of the afternoon into the evening hours. And then tomorrow we'll kind of get a break from severe weather, but then it immediately picks up back again on Thursday and Friday, where we already have day 4 and 5 slate risks of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. Which is how this risk and yesterday's risk started out. They started out as slate risks and they got upgraded. So we could be looking at potentially one more enhanced risk in the next week. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it could happen. So something actually kind of interesting is that we've gotten 143 reports of wind damage today. 143 reports just today, not even including yesterday. 13 reports of tornado damage, no reports of hail damage, which is a little surprising because we've definitely had our fair share of significant hail today. Yeah. You know, nobody thinks of, Reed Timmer just posted an update on X. There's a dangerous storm moving over Morehead City. Okay. Let's see here. I should know where Morehead City is at, but unfortunately I don't. It's a little embarrassing. It's near... Here, wait, I'm just gonna... This is embarrassing that I cannot find Morehead City. I should be able to, but I'm just gonna search it in here. Morehead City, North Carolina. Yeah, okay, so it is over here. Yeah, this is... So, Mr. Storm, this is kind of near our storm earlier that was about to put a water spout in this area. So I wonder if he, depending on what time that update is posted, he might be talking about a storm that actually did not hit. Or no, that was down here. Okay, yeah, there are some strong storms heading for the Morehead City, Jacksonville area, though. So I definitely see what he was talking about. Oh, tornado warning. Yeah, for some reason I'm not getting the alert sounds today. Tornado warning here for Halifax, and it was, yeah, Charlotte counties in Virginia. This does include the Charlotte Courthouse, Wiley'sburg, kind of a lot of small rural communities in here, South Boston, Halifax, Halifax, not Halifax. I'm just so used to saying hail when talking about the weather. Yeah, unfortunately, we cannot get real wind gust readings here. I wish the radar wasn't so glitchy. Yeah, I mean, there's not really 90-mile-per-hour winds over this whole area. Maybe we could switch to a different radar, but we're kind of in a radar hole. It's hard to find a good radar for this area. Oh, wait, actually, no, it's not. There's one right here. Let's see. Oh, okay, so that might be the rotation there, or it's somewhere else that this radar just is not really picking up. Oh, here it is. Okay, so yeah, it's right over South Boston. I was going to say, I don't think they'd have the rotation all the way out here and issue the warning for this area. But yeah, I see what the National Weather Service is taking a look at here. So South Boston, and really anywhere in this warning should be taking shelter because these are all very intense storms that could develop rotation. But there's an area of rotation, decent rotation over South Boston, and then just some strong storms off to the north and the east of that. Let me go and switch back to our preferred radar here. And yeah. Let's see here. Still 17 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. The one for the 70-mile-per-hour winds does not expire for another 21 minutes. So I will probably stay live for at least another 21 minutes. I'll probably be live longer than that. But yeah. Alright. We are kind of just chilling here for a while. Till some new information comes out. Man, Ryan Hall is still live. That is insane. He's been live since like 7 a.m. this morning, my time. Yeah, he's been live for 9 hours. Everybody go subscribe to Ryan Hall, y'all. Everybody watching. He is a phenomenal severe weather forecaster slash just, you know, he watches the severe weather. I don't think he's a degreed meteorologist. I don't know. But yeah. He knows a lot about the weather. He might be a degree meteorologist, not sure. They issued another warning here for the same rotation near Halifax County in Virginia. Or no, they issued a new warning over here for this other rotation I was talking about. Dude's the GOAT. Yes, he is. Yeah, they issued a warning for this rotation now. But yeah. Yeah, anybody that can stream for, the entire day, just a few weeks after having a new child is the GOAT. But yeah. That's always what I say when I'm done talking. I say, but yeah. Let's go here. Charleston, South Carolina. So the winds are, yeah, still in, that 45 to 50 mile per hour range, maybe now a little bit higher in some areas. We do have a couple gusts around 60 miles an hour in Charleston. So it's actually looking like the worst of the storms are not quite at Charleston yet, or the worst of the winds, I should say. But, it's getting strong. We're getting to 60 in some areas. It could easily pick up, so I'd get in shelter if I was in Charleston, South Carolina. If you do get any severe weather out of this event, because there's going to be a large number of people that do, report it to your local National Weather Service with a picture, only if you can do so safely. Like, don't risk your life to take a photo for them. It's not worth it. But if you do have a severe weather report, send it into your local National Weather Service. If you don't know what that is, you can find it pretty easily on Google. There's actually a full-on list of local areas National Weather Services. But yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, the South Boston area needs to stay in shelter. Kind of have a few areas of rotation in here. Let's see. Nothing new at the moment. I say that, and then we immediately get a new tornado warning. So, tornado warning here for Volusia County down in Florida. Volusia County, maybe is how you pronounce it. And, yeah, some rotation on that storm there. I hope that's not a real... Oh, no, that's just like there's no rain over that spot. Usually black indicates extremely strong velocities. But anyway. Yeah, there definitely is rotation developing on this storm, so seek shelter immediately if you're included in this warning. There's kind of, again, two smaller areas, but still getting kind of intense. Actually, it's mainly just these. Yeah, I guess there's two areas, but right there. And new update. Okay, so now it's really just this one. Just kind of some wind poking out here near Seville. Yeah. Again, those are not real wind gusts. Do not worry. There's not 100 mile an hour winds there yet. But we could be looking at a possible tornado, and they actually just issued another tornado warning ahead of that storm. My goodness. So to the east now of this storm, we've got a tornado warning all the way into Palm Coast. So Palm Coast, seek shelter, because there's actually a few other areas of rotation as well that could develop here in this storm. But yeah. I said it again. I said, but yeah. Looks like we got a pretty huge severe thunderstorm warning here, just like in size, over Florence, South Carolina. Still have our storm in effect for the 70 mile per hour winds here in Charleston. And the actual wind speeds in Charleston right now are, once again, 45 to 50 miles per hour for most of the city. but it will get more intense eventually. And there's actually starting to have some rotation develop on the southern side of this thing here near Rockville. And now it's kind of northeast of Rockville. It's kind of weakening, though, after that next scan. But yeah, just stay safe, everybody. So it's looking like now the winds in Charleston are actually getting a little weaker for just a few moments, about 30 to 35 miles per hour, but soon you'll get this little cluster of high winds, this little pocket here of 50 to 60, about 55 miles per hour around that whole area. Just giving my voice a rest here because there's not really anybody watching right now. Although it does look like... No, never mind. That's the same warning. Let's get an update on our storm with rotation there in Virginia. Kind of centered around Halifax County. Oh, now I'm getting alert sounds. That's a severe thunderstorm warning right there. And that is another severe thunderstorm warning for 70 miles per hour wind here. And it includes, it includes Jacksonville. This keeps happening in the most populated areas. So Jacksonville, seek shelter immediately. Onslow County, North Carolina, 70 mile per hour winds possible with this storm here. My goodness, I mean, it's not even like, again, it's really not that intense of a storm in general, but those winds can be dangerous, man. Yeah, those aren't real winds. There's not really 120 mile an hour winds, but we could be looking at wind gusts up to 70, they're saying, at the National Weather Service, starting to enter the area, and I definitely agree with them. We're getting some gusts over 60 already, kind of heading for the south side of Jacksonville, North Carolina right now. So look out for sure, dude. It's getting intense out there. Still got some rotation here on our storm in Florida. And it's heading for Palm Coast once again. Again, just going quiet because there's nobody really watching at the moment, it doesn't look like. New radar update for the radar here near Jacksonville. And that storm is really starting to enter the southern side of this warning here. So if you are on the southern side of this warning, seek shelter now. We're starting to get some winds here that could be over 60 miles per hour. Again, but they're saying it could get up to 70. It's hard to tell what's real in here and what's not. There's so many false radar signals here, but yeah. Alright. Got another velocity update. Nope, that was just a glitch. We did not get another update. I wish this radar wasn't being bad for this storm here. Because, again, there's not really any other radars that are close enough to get us a good reading of the rotation here. It looks like they let go of one of the tornado warnings. The thing had already passed. But we have a new tornado warning. New tornado warning issued for Pender County in North Carolina. Our only tornado warning in North Carolina at the moment here. Getting some rotation from the waters to kind of head into extreme, kind of along the coastline here, really. Just north and the east of Wilmington, North Carolina. Why did I say it like that? I said to the north and the east. And a new severe thunderstorm warning to go on top of that for portions of North Carolina. Okay. Let's check this special marine warning to see if we've got any. Yeah, so it's actually warned for just water spouts, which is kind of rare. That a special marine warning is issued for water spouts only and nothing else, because usually there's something with the water spouts. But we could be seeing water spouts heading onto land here. Hello, airborne animations. And potentially producing tornadoes here near Holly Ridge, North Topsail Beach, just kind of south of Jacksonville here, and all the beaches in that area. So seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor possible, away from windows, if you are included in that tornado warning there, okay? So for any other new viewers just now joining, we have got 15 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, 4 tornado warnings in effect. This is a pretty intense outbreak here, for sure. And yeah, so it's looking like our strong water spout is right here, okay, and it's really heading northward, so it's not quite in the warning box yet, but you need to be in shelter in the warning box, because I mean, if that radar estimation's even a few miles off, then this thing could already be on land doing damage. It's currently about 3 miles away from shore here, so seek shelter immediately. Still got some rotation here southwest of Palm Coast, down here in Florida. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said it like that. That was stupid. Two new severe thunderstorm warnings. We got another one for 70-mile-per-hour winds here. It is for the same storm here, though, heading for Charleston, South Carolina. Okay, so they issued a new warning for areas just to the east. Actually, they're just issuing that, I think, so that we could get kind of, because the other one was about to expire, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, you got a pocket of high winds coming for you for sure here in Charleston. Potentially over 75 miles per hour, even if this is a real radar signal. But right now, I mean, you're still looking at some intense winds, okay? So you need to be in shelter in Charleston. It's really starting to pick up out there, it looks like. Do have quite a few blizzard warnings in the northwest here, but that's kind of, it's not super rare for that to happen during this time of year. what is a little uncommon for this time of year, and I don't even want to say super rare because tornado outbreaks do happen in January, but what is not super common for them to do is happen in January. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. There was a new tornado warning issued here. I need to stop yapping. This one actually includes Jacksonville now. Okay, so these water spouts that are coming onto land here, they're saying could reach Jacksonville now. All right, and I mean it's hard to tell what's really here and what's not, but there are definitely some water spouts that can make landfall here relatively soon, if not already. So seek shelter immediately, lowest floor possible, away from windows. And, I mean, if that's not just a radar glitch and the winds are actually that strong in this water spout, this is going to be bad. So, yeah. But, again, don't panic. Be prepared. Not scared. Don't be scared, be prepared. I don't know why I said it like that. Nobody's ever said it like that. But yeah, I did it again. I said, but yeah. Oh well, not that big a deal. We do have a high wind warning here for Jacksonville for gusts up to 60. And those strong storms are starting to go into land here. It almost looks like we're starting to get a little bit of a hook here. On the reflectivity, if we go back to that here. It's hard to tell because there's so many warnings and things on top of it, but, I mean, that could be a weak hook trying to stand out there. So seek shelter if you are in either of those tornado warnings. If you're in any tornado warnings, seek shelter right now because they're all, they've got their problems with them. Some of them are worse than others, but they're all pretty bad. Again, though, don't be scared, be prepared. And the way to prepare for that is to seek shelter. And when I say seek shelter, what you want to do, go on the lowest floor of an interior room or building, basically. You want to go on the lowest floor of a building, first of all. That's probably the most important thing. Okay, when we see... Did I hear the tornado warning sound? Maybe not. When we see damage reports of tornadoes, we see that the things that survive are the basements. Because, the tornado doesn't necessarily reach down there. But if the only thing you can do is get on the main floor of your house, if you don't have a basement or like a storm shelter, obviously, then the second thing you can do is get in a bathroom. Because unless it's an extremely strong tornado, the other thing that we see survive usually whenever a tornado rolls through is the bathroom, okay? We see houses standing, completely destroyed, but the one thing that hasn't been destroyed is the bathroom, okay? So, if you can't get on the lowest floor of a building, get in the bathtub, cover yourself up with a mattress or something, if possible, something heavy. Put on shoes, socks, shirt, pants, because if you have to evacuate your home in case there is an emergency, then you're going to want to have especially shoes on because you're going to be walking around potentially over pieces of debris, like metal and bricks, and you don't want to be barefoot when you do that, obviously. Another thing you definitely want to not do is be near windows. Windows are one of the worst places to be near during a tornado. Oh no. Yeah, I'm starting to think we're gonna see this water spout make landfall soon. Or no, I think it's actually already made landfall. We could have a tornado on the ground here. Alright. Getting serious here. We could have a tornado possibly on the ground here south of Holly Ridge, southwest of North Topsail Beach. And this is going to be heading off to northeast here near Jacksonville, okay? So seek shelter immediately if you're included in either of those warnings. Lowest floor possible, away from windows. Looks like our tornado warnings, or one of our tornado warnings here in Florida expired, but we still have one left here for Palm Coast, so stay in shelter in Palm Coast for a little while longer. That's actually where the worst of the storm's at right now, so yeah, look out for that. But I'm much more concerned about our storm here in South Carolina right now at the minute. Or North Carolina, sorry. Yeah, that's a real water spout out here, and I mean, that is incredible. Anybody interested in the weather, or that's starting to get interested in the weather, you are not going to see this likely for another long time. This is, my gosh, for a water spout, that is, I mean, that's near a picture perfect water spout. I'm going to take a picture of that myself. That is incredible. If that makes landfall, then we're really in trouble. I mean, I don't want to scare anybody yet, like I said, because there's no reason to be scared. But, man. Okay, so possibly a tornado on the ground here south of Holly Ridge now. Do we have a CC drop? We do not. We have not gotten an update, though, for a while in the CC, so could be why. It did look like the rotation could possibly be weakening here just a little bit, but we really don't know. So, seek shelter. Especially if you're in Holly Ridge. That's the main point of concern right now. But that water spout, though, is actually incredible. Can we take a look at this thing's track? So it's kind of out here, and then it, oh no, this is it. Okay, so it's heading off to the north and the east here, kind of in this exact direction. So if it stays intact for however longer, I mean, it could make landfall, but hopefully it doesn't. I don't think it will. Northeast at 55 knots, that's about 60 miles an hour. So let's actually drag this out here. So we'll go 60 miles. Actually, we'll go 65. It's about 65 miles an hour. So northeast at 65 miles per hour. If this were to stay on the ground for, you know, another 45 minutes, which it's probably not, we could be looking at it making landfall. But again, no reason to be scared about it. Looks like we have another one trying to form here too, and I mean, this one's definitely still there. I really do think that's real. I think that's 140 mile an hour winds right there, which is actually insane if it is. I mean, if you're in water in this area, you need to get off as quickly as possible. 100%. Like, there's no safe way to be on water in this. Yeah, so I mean, if we don't have a tornado, these are just really strong winds, which it could be because we do have this warning for 70 mile an hour winds. But we've got a 71 mile an hour gust here just south of Holly Ridge, if radar's estimating correctly. So yeah, seek shelter no matter what if you're in that warning. You know, there's no reason to not try and play it safe here. Looks like we just lost one of our warnings, tornado warnings. Take a look here at our storm in Florida. It's not quite as concerning to me, but we'll get brief updates on it because there are a lot of people that live in the Palm Coast area. So yeah. Let's go ahead and pull up the velocities here. Sorry, I was reopening my chat. Ooh, nasty. Alright, yeah, you need to stay in shelter here, guys. We could be looking at a little bit of tightening of rotation here, but just on one side. But if that makes no sense to you, basically, it just means stay in shelter, because something could happen down there. It's not happening right now, and we don't even know if it's going to happen. There's probably a 50-50 chance at this point, but it doesn't matter, because that can pop up within the next few minutes if it really took a sharp trend upwards. So again, Holly Ridge, 73 mile an hour winds just now passing Holly Ridge, now down to 67 it looks like. I mean, it's going to vary from radar scan to radar scan, but the peak gusts out of this thing are sitting around that 70 mile an hour mark right now with some strong rotation. It does look like, if that even ever was a water spout, it's not anymore. Ooh, well, I shouldn't say that, especially now that I see the CC drop. I was saying earlier this is definitely a water spout, but this special marine warning could be for this insane water spout out here, which I cannot reiterate this enough. This is actually incredible. And I would hesitate to ever call something like this incredible if it were on land, but it's over water, and it's probably not going to make landfall. So this is quite a beauty out here. You don't see a water spout like this every day. You see tornadoes like that, you know, a few times a year, but you don't see water spouts that picture perfect, like, ever. I mean, it's even rare, very rare, I would say, for a tornado to look like that on radar presentation. But yeah, that's actually an insane water spout. I almost want to stay live until that thing fizzles out, but I don't know if I can, because we really don't know when it's going to fizzle out. But it's insane looking, I can tell you that much. So we've only got two severe thunderstorm warnings left now with 70-mile-per-hour wind readings. One in North Carolina, one in South. Seek shelter if you're in either of those, but we do kind of have an ongoing situation here in the Jacksonville area that I need to be covering. So we have not gotten a velocity signature update yet. Any new viewers just now joining, we are focused in right now on Jacksonville in North Carolina here. We've got a potential tornado on the ground trying to form here. Or I mean, it could be on the ground, but I don't think it is. I think it's trying to form into one right now. So seek shelter immediately, lowest floor possible, away from windows if you are in Jacksonville, for sure. Those that debris, it could be real, and it could be from the straight line damaging winds. Now that I think about it. Because it's not super heavy debris, but it is, there's a lot of it. So it could just be from those strong wind gusts, honestly, just picking up a little bit in the atmosphere. And it being something not super heavy, but there's a lot of it kind of scattered around. So seek shelter. You could be looking at debris, even if there's not a tornado from this. We've got strong damaging winds. See here. Yep, still just those 3 tornado warnings ongoing. We could go ahead and take another look, another gander here. Quick look at our storm in Florida near Palm Coast. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of rotation on the southern side of this thing, but now this is really just looking like a damaging wind threat. Potentially winds over 60 miles per hour there. We got a 64 mile per hour estimated by radar gust. We've actually got several around that magnitude. So staying sheltered just because there's that tornado warning, obviously, but also there's some damaging winds coming in. I mean, this is a windbag if I've ever seen one. I want to look at that water spout again. I kind of forgot we had that. That's the main thing I'm actually looking at right now. Because, I mean, if that makes landfall, it would be a terrible event. They don't even have a special marine warning for that anymore. It expired and they never reissued it. My gosh, that's insane, dude. That is actually crazy. I'm kind of weather nerding out right now, but that's actually nuts. Rotation's definitely weakening here in the Jacksonville area, but stay in shelter because, again, we've got those very dangerous wind gusts coming in, even if we don't get a tornado. Alright, we've still got some winds over 60 miles an hour, potentially upwards of 70 miles an hour coming in. So seek shelter immediately, lowest floor possible, especially away from windows. I mean, we've just got several splotches of what almost I want to call like ocean supercells out here that could develop strong water spouts. But the only one I see that's definitely on the ground is, or I mean, on the water, you could say, is this one. Oh my gosh, that's actually incredible. 140-mile-per-hour winds from a water spout is not something you see every day. That is insane. I know I've said it like 1,000 times, but that's actually crazy. Like, even the Hendersonville tornado that I captured on stream wasn't as intense as this. And this is on water, which makes it 10 times as hard to get that intense. But it did it. This storm is just nutso out the wazoo. I mean, it's even got a little hook of its own on there. I mean, it's... I feel bad for the fishies. The fishies are going to take a big hit from this one. Dude, that's insane. And we have to hope and pray that that does not make landfall. Because if it does, we could be looking at a bad tornado. Get an update on our Florida storm here. Okay. Update on our Florida storm. Looks like we've got an area of rotation kind of heading onto the water now, but there is still an area of rotation here on the southeast side of this thing. That's not. I don't even think this is what it was warned for, this rotation area, but it is there. So seek shelter if you're included in this warning. Still, just give it a few more minutes. This warning expires in 3 minutes. If the National Weather Service says you're fine, then you're probably good to leave your safe place. But yeah, we could be looking at another water spout popping up there again in that moderate to strong zone. Nowhere near the intensity of this one up here, though. I can't say it enough. Okay, so they actually let go of the tornado warnings here in Charleston. But you need to stay in shelter because there is 70-mile-an-hour winds for the severe thunderstorm warnings. And we actually talked about how that rotation was weakening. But stay in shelter because we've got 70-mile-an-hour winds coming through here right now if this warning is correct. Or upwards of 70-mile-an-hour winds, I should say. Our water spell, where was that guy at? I feel like I'm looking at a different radar, but... Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm so dumb. I was looking at Charleston, South Carolina, because we had one there earlier, but it's in Jacksonville that we're watching. Okay. I'm so stupid. Okay, well, I mean, the rotation's still definitely there on the Jacksonville storm. That water spell looks like it, is probably still there, too. I don't think we've gotten a radar update in the velocity since we looked at this last, actually. We will soon, though, for sure. That's... Oh, my gosh. That's crazy, dude. Wow. It's even... That's insane. It's like pushing up water so high that the reflectivity thinks that there's... It thinks that it's like light rain. That is... Dude. Like, what? If I'm correct, that's what was happening there. I mean, that might not be what was happening, but it almost looks like that was what was happening, is that it was bringing water so high. And look, this yellow splotch might still be what I was talking about. It's bringing rain, or it's bringing water from the ocean so high into the air that the reflectivity thinks that it's light rain falling. If I'm correct about that, and that's what it's actually doing, that is unfathomable. Our tornado warning in Florida has expired, so if you want to leave shelter now, you can go ahead and do that. In the Palm Coast area, it looks like you're going to be fine in terms of tornadic weather. I mean, you could see something later on in the night, but that's not super likely. This area is really going to be damaging winds for the rest of the night. That's going to be the main threat, with maybe an isolated few areas of rotation. But as of right now, there's no tornado threat. It's looking like for the Palm Springs area. And they did reissue those special weather statements. What I was saying earlier, that's crazy. There's not even a special weather statement for this. There is now. Water spouts and wind gusts of 65 knots. 65 knots, that's 75 miles an hour to 80 miles an hour. It's like 78 miles an hour. Special marine warnings usually don't get issued for that much. It's rare you'll see that. It looks like our water spout could be dropping here, potentially, which is good. I didn't want to see that make landfall, but dude, that was crazy. That was actually nuts. Like, I'm not even kidding. I know it's probably obnoxious to hear me say that over and over again. I probably sound like a broken record at this point, but that's crazy, dude. And maybe it's just me that thinks that. Maybe I'm just crazy that I've never seen one this big before on radar, but, I mean, I haven't. Maybe it's really not any harder for water spouts to form on the ocean than on land. I've never thought about it, but it's like, why would it be? I just never seen water spouts of that intensity. I've seen tornadoes of that intensity. I've just never seen a water spout of that intensity, so I just assume that water spouts don't get that strong. But maybe it's not as hard for them to get that strong as I thought. I'm literally learning about meteorology live right now with nobody watching. I mean, you take a look at tornadoes probably more frequently than water spouts, maybe? But, like, I mean, it's a good thing that wasn't another, 50 miles to the north, because then we'd be looking at a tornado emergency level tornado there. That could be one of the strongest tornadoes in 2024, even though we just started it, but luckily it was just a water spout. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's not as hard for them to get that strong as I thought.
Sorry, I thought you were playing games.
No, I'm alive. Looks like we got a lot of trailer parks in this area that this rotation is going over. I mean, it makes sense. We are, like, on top of Jacksonville at this point, just to the west of the city. But, yeah. Yeah, our water spout's definitely breaking here, but that was crazy for a few moments. Or more than a few moments, really, which was another crazy thing, is that it stayed together and intact for so long. I was almost worried that was going to make landfall, and I mean, if it had stayed on the ground for another 30 minutes, it might have, Man, it looks so dark and ominous outside of my house, but there's really no severe threat for me. Sorry, I've been quiet for a while. Probably gonna end the stream soon. we're getting to a slightly calmer break in severe weather. I mean, it's gonna pick right back up probably, but I've been live for over an hour now, which is usually that threshold I like to hit. Like literally right after I hit an hour yesterday, I was like, nope, I'm done, and then I popped off. New tornado warning here in North Carolina. It does look like, or no, that's been here the whole time, or for a while, I should say. Looks like we could be looking at a little more waterspout action coming onto land here in Southport. Forgot that we were even worried about this spot, but we have been. But yeah. Nowhere near as crazy as that waterspout south of Jacksonville. Dude, that got nuts for a little bit. So that tornado warning expires in 9 minutes. This one expires in 24 minutes. So, I don't know. I don't know why I was mentioning that. I mean, that's probably not going to affect how long I stay alive for. Because, I mean, really the rotation up here is nothing to be super concerned about anymore. I'd stay in shelter for a few more minutes, at least until this warning expires. We also have that severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-an-hour winds, but that expires in 9 minutes as well. So, yeah. Definitely some weakening of the storms here near Jacksonville. Just stay in shelter for a little while longer, then you can probably leave, and I'll probably leave myself. Leave the stream. Probably take a look at the weather for my own area for a little bit. Because while it's nowhere near as intense as this kind of stuff, it is going to be interesting for me. Huh. I'm wondering what all that yellow is. It's everywhere now. What is happening? I think it's the radar circle is showing, and I don't know why. And it still is. Is that happening for all my radars? No. Huh, I don't know then. That's weird. It's not even the radar I'd need to be using to look at the Jacksonville storm anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I was gonna mention though, it looks like for this storm we've got some intense rotation potentially heading for the landfall. Not necessarily intense, but it's something. New radar scan. And our circle is gone. That was super weird, dude. Okay, so the rotation's kind of heading off to the east here, but I mean, they were right to issue that tornado warning because the southern side of that's getting hit. So, stay in shelter for a little while longer if you're in that tornado warning. Flash flood watch. Where's that for? We are up in Virginia. Okay, so we got a flash flood watch for portions of Virginia here. Because later down the line you're going to be getting some extremely heavy rainfall. And I mean, you're already getting some heavy rainfall, but it's going to get even worse probably. So I'd stay weather aware if I'm in that. And it looks like they really did remove the Jacksonville tornado warning this time. Not looking at the wrong city like I was earlier. We still have that one here for the Carolina Beach area. Curie Beach, Southport, you know, in extreme southeastern North Carolina. But the threat with that is not really even on land anymore. It's just barely along the coast, and it's not going to be too bad. So, I am probably going to go ahead and cut us off here. Here's my advice for the rest of the night. If you're under a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour winds or higher, seek shelter. If you get a tornado warning, seek shelter. if you get a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for hail of 1.75 inches or larger, seek shelter. But the hail's not really being a threat tonight. So wind and tornadoes is what you're going to be having to look out for the rest of the evening here. And the whole area I'm about to circle, I'd say this whole area. Look out for wind and tornadoes for the rest of the night. But with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. I don't like hopping off with the tornado warning, but knowing that it's not really an intense situation, it's going to be removed in a few minutes makes me feel better. So, yeah. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.